Well, that's a fair call, Troy, and I agree. I mean, right now, we've got record prices in cattle, the highest they've ever been. Record prices in sheep. We've turned around the wool market. Over this side, Troy, they're finishing off a dam that we started, the coalition started. Behind me, the Germans have come into town and they're building a research facility station, massive BASF, massive German company researching in Australia, investment in Australia. Over there, Troy, there's about $300 million of new investment going into the abattoir industry. This is just around Tamworth. This is just what we're doing around here. Up here, we've got blueberries. They're going up around Tenterfield. We've got about 400 new employees in a town that hasn't had employees since they closed the lunatic mine. There was a lunatic mine up there. I think it was a gold mine. And that's the sort of thing that's happening. We've got warehouses going in. We are exporting record numbers of live animals. We have record numbers of beef, record amounts of produce. We've got strong cotton markets, biggest turnaround soft commodities in the history of our nation. And you're dead right. That is a message I want to get out there, because this has happened whilst we have been the government. This has happened under our watch.
But how do you do that with what's going on? That's the point. I mean, I think all three of us here are nodding at that. How do you get all of those messages out when all anyone seems to want to talk about, including in the electorate, not just in the media, is Bronwyn Bishop in this ongoing saga?
Well, I'll show you how you do that. What you do is you wait till around about Thursday night, and then Peter Van Onsen says, mate, you've got to help me out, you've got to come on my show. Then I go on your show, and then I do a thing called pivot, which is I stop talking about Bronny, and I start talking about record cattle prices, record sheep prices, turn around the wool market, strong cotton prices, about $200 to $300 million of investment in this town and in the abattoirs over there, new dam over there, new German research facility there, new blueberries up there. We've turned around the live cattle trade in our north. We've turned around the price of land in our north. We've given great opportunities, 3 free trade agreements, six new live animal destinations, and we cracked in excess of $1 billion deal in the last fortnight with China. That's the sort of thing that I want to talk about, because that's the sort of thing that puts money back in this nation's pocket, so I can pay for that new hospital that we're building up there, and pay for the kids at school, pay for the police, get the money flowing around. I'm doing my part. This nation is in a better agricultural position under this government by far.
Okay,
Minister,
that's fair enough. Can I ask you then about a key issue in your portfolio, which is the Trans-Pacific Trade Partnership? There wasn't a breakthrough agreement reached in Hawaii on Saturday. I wanted to ask you, unless there are significant gains in dairy and sugar in particular, how likely is it that you as Agriculture Minister and the other National Party ministers would not support that trade deal being signed off?
Well, what we've got here is that the agreement hasn't come to a conclusion. It's continued on. It's been extended, and maybe you'd say it's extenuated. But what I can say is that the US can say, oh, we've got political problems with the sugar issue in the United States. Well, we've got strong sugar seats, parochial sugar seats in this nation with George Christensen, Michelle Landry, Ken O'Dowd, Warren Truss. This is a big issue for us too, and what we had in the past, we got shy of about 90,000 tonne of sugar into the US. Now they're offering just north of 150,000 tonne. This is the reality. America consumes about 10 million tonnes of sugar a year. They produce about 7 million tonnes of sugar a year. There's a gap of 3 million tonnes, and we're saying, look, America, the United States of America, God bless you, you believe in free trade, surely that also goes to us being able to export slightly more sugar than 152,000 tonnes to you. Now, they've got a scale-up factor, and Andrew Robb's done a good job, an incredible job. But when I talk with the United States, I talk with my offsider over there, Tom, you know, everything is a demand for us of what we have to do. But then we say, look, mate, we only want one thing from you. Give us a good sugar deal. Give us a good something that's within the ballpark, so we can sell it back to the George Christensens, the Ken O'Dowds,
well, just
the Michelle
on that point, Minister,
the Keith Pitts.
Now, just on that point, your National Party colleagues took a stand on sugar this week. Do you agree with them? Is this a non-negotiable position as far as the National Party is concerned? That is, that it must have a better deal on sugar. Is that non-negotiable?
Well, what I'd say is I'd take Andrew Robb's position himself. I've been reading what has been in the paper today, and he said that this is one of the key sticking points with sugar and dairy, and we've got to be able to get a better outcome, because when I was back with Mark Vaile and Robert Zellick, when they did that trade agreement, the sugar industry felt very let down. They said, you know, we've sort of been left behind on this, and now's the time to try and crack a better deal. And I think that the process is still going on, and we're still negotiating. I know that President Obama, it's incredibly important for him for sort of geopolitical reasons, for a reassertion of US economic influence in this part of the world. We're at the negotiating table. There's one thing I can say about the National Party. They've all basically, all the people I know, the vast majority all been in business. The negotiation table hasn't been folded up and walked away with. It's still there. We're at the table, and we're going to make sure that we do the very best deal we possibly can.
Okay, but it just seems to me from what you've said that this is a non-negotiable demand for the National Party.
Well, it's not a matter of non-negotiable. It's a matter of getting the best deal you can. You are negotiating. Non-negotiable means I'll give up, I'll walk away. Now, the United States of America haven't said they're walking away either. Everybody's staying at the negotiation table, and I know that we have an incredibly able set of hands in Andrew Robb being there. And I know that Andrew Robb, who has been in the NFF, knows that we have to continue to pursue this issue, dairy and sugar, to make sure that we get a good deal. Because that is basically, if we just accept anything, then anything's what you get. And we've got to make sure that we get the best deal, because I think the people in the Queensland coast deserve it.
Well, can I ask it another way then, Barnaby Joyce? I mean, I guess, can I ask it as a comparative point? You've got the Trans-Pacific Partnership. Are the National Party much stronger about achieving a positive outcome on sugar there than, for example, around the free trade agreements with China and Japan, where sugar was sacrificed at the altar of a good deal in other areas? It's a different approach this time. Would that be a fair characterisation?
We got movement in sugar in some of those other deals, and a high polarity sugar into Japan is a classic example of that. And I'm just going to stick you back in my ear. But you know, this is the big one. America's a big consumptive market. The problem with sugar, Peter, at the moment is it's plateauing out. Obviously, health has come into clear focus, and the demand for sugar that was there in the past is not it doesn't have that trajectory rise that it used to have, and so you've got to bargain hard for the space that actually exists. Mexico is a hard bargainer in that space with the United States of America. Even with what Andrew Robb has done thus far, it would make us the second biggest exporter of sugar into the United States after Mexico. So he's done a good job. I have to get a bigger ear or a different earpiece. So this is something that, you know, there is momentum in any deal, and I'm sure you've bought a house, or you know, you've been in business yourself. When there's movement, you keep going, you keep driving for the best deal you possibly can, and Andrew Robb will continue to do that. The free trade agreements that Andrew Robb has done with Korea, with China and with Japan have been exceptional. And what we've done with that, and the stimulants that's come back to our nation because of that, is remarkable. And the fact that I can work off the back of that and crack deals that we did the other day with live animals into live cattle into China, these are the deals that put real money back into the pockets of the Australian people. And if we work together as a methodical business-like structure, which the coalition should be and is, then we can continue to bring greater prosperity back to the Australian people. That's our job. That's what we're here for.
All right, well, hold that thought. We're talking to